What if the secret weapon against the weird winter of 2025 isn't a generator, but your spice rack? Right now, seniors with these 13 spices are staying warm, healthy, and fed, while others are giving up on meals entirely. Stick around, I'll reveal exactly which ones to stockpile before the next shelf goes empty. Hey everyone! I combed through FEMA's January 2025 emergency bulletin, USDA food insecurity data, and on-the-ground reports from senior centers in Toronto, Chicago, and Berlin. And here's what's terrifying. 68% of adults over 55 skipped meals last winter, not because they ran out of food, but because it tasted like punishment. In this video, you'll discover the 13 survival spices that savvy seniors never let expire from their pantries. Spices that fight colds, ease joint pain, and even trade for batteries when supply chains snap. And number 7, it's already doubled in price in the Midwest and disappearing fast. Comment below, shortage or price hike? Have you seen it where you live? Your tip could save someone's next meal. Number 13, bay leaves. Let's talk about the quiet hero of the spice world. Bay leaves. You might toss one into soup or stew and forget about it, but in 2025, this unassuming leaf is anything but forgettable. With grain shortages hitting record highs and pantry pests like moths and weevils thriving in stressed supply chains, bay leaves are your first line of defense. Just drop one into your rice, beans, flour, or pasta bins, and it silently keeps bugs away. No chemicals, no sprays, just nature doing its job. And it's not just about pest control. That subtle, earthy aroma, it transforms bland emergency meals into something that actually feels like food. When you're eating from your stockpile for weeks on end, that little bit of flavor can lift your mood more than you'd think. Seniors across rural Canada and the Midwest are already using bay leaves this way, not just for taste, but for peace of mind. The best part? Bay leaves last a long time. Store them in an airtight jar, away from light and moisture, and they'll stay potent for 3 to 4 years. Some preppers even vacuum seal them for extra shelf life. A single pack from the grocery store can protect dozens of pounds of dry goods. It's cheap, it's simple, and it works. Here's a trick many don't know. Slip a dried bay leaf right into your flour container. It stops weevils before they even hatch. Same goes for cornmeal, oats, and lentils. In a winter where every calorie counts and every bag of grain is precious, you can't afford to lose food to bugs. Bay leaves cost pennies but save pounds. And in the weird winter of 2025, when stores are empty and deliveries are delayed, that tiny leaf might be the difference between a full pantry and a wasted one. Don't overlook it, don't skip it, just tuck it in and let it work while you sleep. Number 12, nutmeg. Nutmeg isn't just for eggnog or holiday cookies. In 2025, it's becoming a quiet lifeline for seniors facing long, dark nights during power outages and winter storms. Why? Because nutmeg has natural calming properties that can help ease anxiety and even support better sleep, something many over 55 struggle with when routines collapse and stress runs high. Just a tiny pinch in warm milk or herbal tea can take the edge off without needing pills or prescriptions. But here's what most people don't know. Whole nutmeg lasts way longer than ground. A whole nutmeg seed stored in a cool, dry place can stay fresh for 4 to 5 years, sometimes more. Ground nutmeg, it loses potency in under 2. So if you're prepping for the long haul, buy the whole seeds and grate only what you need. It's cheaper, stronger, and smarter. And yes, there's a warning, too much nutmeg can make you sick. We're talking tablespoons, not pinches. Stick to 1/4 teaspoon or less per serving, and you're safe. Seniors in Vermont and northern England are already adding it to oatmeal, soups, and even mashed potatoes, not just for warmth, but for that subtle comfort only spice can bring. In a world where mental health is as critical as calories during emergencies, nutmeg offers a gentle, natural tool. It won't power your lights, but it might just help you rest through the storm. And with prices rising and shelves thinning in early 2025, grabbing a few whole nutmegs now could mean peace of mind later. Keep them in a dark glass jar, label the date, and tuck them into your core spice stockpile. You'll be glad you did when the next blizzard hits. Number 11, cloves. Don't let their small size fool you. Cloves pack a serious punch, especially in the weird winter of 2025. These tiny nail-shaped buds are more than just a warm baking spice. They're loaded with eugenol, a powerful natural compound that acts as a painkiller, antiseptic, and anti-inflammatory, all in one. For seniors dealing with toothaches during ice storms or power outages, when dentists are unreachable, cloves are a trusted old-school remedy. But that's not all. Cloves are also rich in antioxidants, more than most fruits and vegetables. When fresh produce is scarce during winter supply crunches, that antioxidant boost helps your body fight off colds, flu, and even fatigue. Many senior preppers in Germany and the Pacific Northwest are adding ground cloves to oatmeal, stews, and hot cider not just for flavor, but for immune support. Storage is easy. Whole cloves last up to 4 years in an airtight container away from heat and light. Ground cloves fade faster, about 2 years, so if you're stockpiling for emergencies, go whole and grind as needed. A small jar costs less than $3, but could save you from a sleepless night or a worsening infection. And here's a little known 2025 trend. In rural communities from Alberta to Maine, cloves are quietly becoming a barter item. Why? Because everyone needs them, but few think to stock up. With global shipping delays affecting even basic spices, having a stash means you're not just prepared, you're protected. So tuck a few jars into your pantry. That tiny bud might just be your biggest ally when the cold sets in and help is hours away. Number 10, thyme. Thyme looks delicate, like something you'd sprinkle on roast chicken for Sunday dinner, but in a real emergency, this humble herb is a powerhouse. In 2025, with respiratory illnesses surging during the weird winter's deep freezes, thyme is gaining serious attention for one reason: it helps you breathe easier. That's because it contains thymol, a natural compound so strong it's used in medical-grade antiseptics and cough syrups. Seniors across Europe and the northern US are turning to thyme tea at the first sign of a tickle in the throat. Just steep a teaspoon of dried thyme in hot water for 10 minutes, add a little honey if you have it, and sip. It soothes coughs, loosens mucus, and calms irritated airways. No pharmacy required. And when indoor air gets stale during days-long power outages, that warm herbal steam can feel like a lifeline. Dried thyme is also incredibly shelf-stable. Kept in a sealed glass jar away from sunlight, it stays potent for 3 to 4 years. That makes it perfect for long-term food prep. Plus, it blends into almost anything: soups, beans, rice, even scrambled powdered eggs, adding depth and a quiet boost of protection. What's flying under the radar in 2025? Thyme's role in mental resilience. That earthy, slightly minty scent, it's been shown to reduce stress and improve focus. Small comforts that matter when you're stuck indoors for days with limited light and rising anxiety. And with spice shortages creeping into mainstream stores, especially in regions hit by transport delays, having your own supply means you won't be left scrambling. A single $2 jar could support your health through an entire winter crisis. Don't wait for symptoms to strike. Tuck thyme into your core stockpile now. When the next cold snap hits, you'll already be breathing easier. Number 9, oregano. You probably know oregano from pizza and pasta, but in 2025, smart seniors are treating it like medicine, and for good reason. Dried oregano isn't just flavorful, it's one of the most potent natural antimicrobials on the planet. Lab studies confirm it can fight bacteria like E. coli and Salmonella, bugs that become a real threat when water sources are compromised or food sits too long without refrigeration. During last year's winter blackouts in Quebec and upstate New York, families who added oregano to their beans, stews, and rehydrated meals reported fewer stomach issues. Why? Because this little herb works quietly in the background, helping keep your gut safe when you can't control your environment. And it's not just about safety, it's about morale. That bold, slightly peppery kick makes emergency rations taste like real food again. For seniors eating the same meals week after week, that flavor can be the difference between eating enough and giving up. Storage is simple. Keep dried oregano in an airtight container, out of sunlight, and it stays strong for 3 to 4 years. For even longer life, toss in an oxygen absorber or vacuum seal it. A little goes a long way. Just a pinch per pot adds both taste and protection. Here's something few talk about. Oregano is rich in antioxidants, more than many fruits. In a winter where fresh produce is scarce and immune systems are under siege, that daily dose helps your body stay strong. And with global spice supplies tightening in early 2025 due to crop failures in the Mediterranean, oregano is starting to vanish from shelves in parts of the Midwest and Ontario. Don't wait. Grab a few extra jars now, because when the next storm knocks out power for days, you'll want more than just calories. You'll want confidence in every bite. Number 8, ginger. Ginger isn't just for tea or stir fries, it's a survival essential, especially for seniors facing the weird winter of 2025. Why? Because when stress, cold, and uncertainty hit, your stomach often pays the price. Nausea, dizziness, loss of appetite, these aren't just inconveniences. They're dangerous when you're over 55 and every meal counts. Ginger cuts through that fast. Just a small amount of powdered ginger in warm water can calm your gut in minutes. No pills needed. And it's not just about nausea. Ginger is a natural anti-inflammatory. For seniors with arthritis or stiff joints, which get worse in freezing temps, it can ease aches without risking drug interactions. Many in Minnesota and Scotland are already mixing it into oatmeal, soups, and even hot cocoa to stay warm from the inside out. Powdered ginger stores beautifully. Kept dry and sealed, it lasts 3 to 4 years without losing its punch. But here's a 2025 pro tip. If you can find freeze-dried ginger chunks, grab them. They rehydrate fast, make stronger tea, and last even longer, up to 5 years in mylar with oxygen absorbers. What's flying under the radar? Ginger's role in circulation. Cold hands and feet aren't just uncomfortable, they're a warning sign. Ginger helps blood flow better, which can lower frostbite risk during prolonged outages. That's why preppers in Alaska and rural Quebec keep it front and center in their winter kits. And with shipping delays hitting Asian spice imports harder than ever in early 2025, ginger prices have jumped nearly 30% in some U.S. regions. Shelves are thinning, don't wait until it's gone. A $4 jar could keep you eating, moving, and feeling human when the world. Number 7. Cayenne pepper. Don't let its bright red color fool you. Cayenne pepper is serious business in 2025. This isn't just about heat, it's about survival. When temperatures plunge during the weird winter's polar vortex events, your body's biggest enemy isn't just the cold, it's poor circulation. And cayenne, it's like a natural furnace for your blood. Just a pinch in soup, broth, or even hot water can get your blood moving, warming your hands, feet, and core from the inside out. For seniors at higher risk of frostbite or hypothermia, that's not just comfort, it's protection. But cayenne does more than fight the freeze. It's packed with capsaicin, a compound that blocks pain signals. Got a sore back from hauling firewood? Aching joints from sitting in the cold? A tiny amount in food can ease discomfort without reaching for pills that might interact with other meds. Seniors in Montana and northern Maine are already using it this way, quietly, effectively, and safely. And here's the kicker. Cayenne boosts your metabolism. When calories are limited and every bite must count, it helps your body burn fuel more efficiently. That means more energy, better focus, and less fatigue during long emergency days. Storage is easy, keep it in a dark, airtight jar, and it stays potent for 3 to 4 years. Just avoid humidity or it clumps and loses strength. Now, the urgent part, as of February 2025, cayenne is disappearing from shelves in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Ontario. Why? A mix of crop shortages in India and surging demand from preppers. Prices have jumped over 40% in some areas. If you see it, buy it. Not for the spice rack, but for your winter survival kit. Because when the power's out, the wind's howling, and your toes won't warm up, a single pinch of red powder might be the spark that keeps you going. Number 6, turmeric. Turmeric looks like sunshine in a jar, and in the gray, frozen days of the weird winter of 2025, that's exactly what many seniors need. But this golden spice isn't just pretty. It's packed with curcumin, a compound so powerful it's been studied for everything, from joint pain to heart health. For adults over 55, that's huge. When movement gets stiff in the cold and inflammation flares, turmeric offers gentle, natural relief without the side effects of long-term medication use. And here's something most emergency guides skip. Turmeric supports your immune system when fresh fruits and veggies are scarce. In a season where one cold can turn serious fast, that daily boost matters. Seniors in British Columbia and the Netherlands are already stirring it into rice, lentils, and warm milk, often called golden milk, to stay strong during weeks-long storms. But turmeric works best with a partner. Black pepper, just a pinch of pepper, increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. So if you stockpile turmeric, and you should, always keep pepper nearby. Storage is simple. In a cool, dark, airtight container, ground turmeric stays potent for 3 to 4 years. For even longer life, vacuum seal it or store it in mylar with an oxygen absorber. And right now, in early 2025, there's a quiet crisis brewing. Major turmeric crops in India, source of over 80% of the world's supply, were hit by unseasonal flooding. That's already causing delays and price hikes across North America and Europe. Some stores are limiting purchases to 1 jar per customer. Don't wait, grab a few extra jars while you can, because when the next blizzard traps you indoors and your joints ache with every step, that golden powder won't just flavor your food, it'll help you keep moving, breathing, and fighting through the freeze. Number 5. Cinnamon. Cinnamon smells like comfort. But in 2025, it's proving to be a quiet guardian for seniors facing food stress and health uncertainty. Most people know it from oatmeal or baked goods, but few realize cinnamon helps stabilize blood sugar, a lifeline for the millions of adults over 55 managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, especially when regular meals and meds get disrupted during winter emergencies. When grocery runs stop and rations rely on carbs like rice, pasta, or crackers, blood sugar can spike and crash. A simple sprinkle of cinnamon slows that down, helping your body use energy more steadily. That means fewer energy crashes, less dizziness, and better focus during critical moments. Seniors in rural Ohio and southern Sweden are already adding it to everything, from morning porridge to bean stews, not just for warmth, but for balance. And cinnamon does more than manage sugar. It's rich in antioxidants and has mild antimicrobial properties, offering extra immune support when fresh food is limited. Plus that familiar sweet spicy scent, it tricks your brain into feeling safe, calm, and cared for, psychological armor during long, dark outages. For storage, choose Ceylon cinnamon if you can. It's gentler for daily use, and keep it sealed in a glass jar away from light. It lasts 3 to 4 years without fading. Here's the 2025 warning. Cinnamon imports from Sri Lanka and Indonesia are facing delays due to port congestion and climate-related harvest issues. Prices have risen 25% since December, and some U.S. retailers are already rationing bottles. Don't wait for the shelves to empty. A $3 jar could be the difference between feeling shaky and staying steady when the next ice storm knocks out power for days. Tuck it into your core stockpile because in a crisis, stability isn't just physical. It's metabolic, emotional, and deeply human. Number 4, onion powder. Onion powder might seem like a humble kitchen staple, but in the weird winter of 2025, it's becoming a secret weapon for seniors who refuse to eat bland, joyless meals during emergencies. Fresh onions rot fast. But onion powder? It lasts for years, adds deep savory flavor to almost anything, and, here's the surprise, packs real health benefits when fresh produce vanishes. The key is quercetin, a powerful antioxidant found in onions. It supports lung health, fights inflammation, and may even help reduce the severity of winter respiratory bugs. With indoor air stagnant during days-long power outages and flu cases spiking across Europe and North America, that little boost matters more than ever. Seniors in Alberta and Pennsylvania are stirring onion powder into beans, soups, scrambled eggs, and even rehydrated mashed potatoes, not just to make food taste better, but to help their bodies stay resilient. And let's be honest, morale is half the battle. When you're eating from your stockpile for weeks, flavor isn't a luxury. It's motivation to keep eating. Onion powder turns a pot of plain rice into something that smells like home. That emotional lift can be the difference between getting enough calories or giving up. Storage is simple. Keep it in an airtight glass or mylar container away from heat and moisture, and it stays potent for 3 to 4 years. Unlike fresh onions, it takes up almost no space and won't sprout, mold, or attract pests. But here's what's happening right now in 2025. Onion crops in major growing regions like California and the Netherlands were hit hard by unseasonal frosts and flooding. That's led to a ripple effect. Onion powder prices have jumped nearly 35% since January, and some big box stores are limiting purchases. In parts of Ontario and Michigan, shelves are already bare by midweek. Don't wait, grab a few extra jars or bulk bags while they're still available. And if you're really prepping smart, pair it with garlic powder, because together they create that rich umami base that makes emergency meals feel like real food again. In a world where supply chains are fragile and winters are getting weirder, onion powder isn't just seasoning, it's dignity, it's health. And for seniors who've lived through enough chaos to know better, it's non-negotiable. Number 3, garlic powder. Garlic powder is the unsung hero of emergency food prep, and in 2025, it's moving from pantry staple to survival essential. Forget vampires, this stuff fights real threats: viruses, bacteria, and the soul-crushing blandness of long-term rations. For seniors over 55, whose immune systems naturally weaken with age, garlic isn't just flavor, it's frontline defense. The secret lies in allicin, a natural compound released when garlic is crushed or powdered. Studies show it has strong antimicrobial and antiviral properties. During last year's winter surges of colds and stomach bugs in senior housing complexes across Canada and the UK, residents who regularly used garlic powder in their meals reported fewer illnesses. It's not a cure, but it's a powerful ally when clinics are overwhelmed and pharmacies are out of stock. And let's talk taste. Canned beans, rice, lentils, they all start to blur together after a week. But add a teaspoon of garlic powder, suddenly it's a meal. That depth, that warmth, that familiar savoriness, it tricks your brain into feeling cared for, even when the world outside is frozen and chaotic. For seniors eating alone during blackouts, that psychological comfort is priceless. Storage is a dream. Unlike fresh garlic, which sprouts, molds, or dries out, garlic powder lasts 4+ years in a cool, dark, airtight container. Vacuum seal it or store it with an oxygen absorber, and it could stay strong even longer. A single 16-ounce jar costs less than $5, but can flavor hundreds of meals. Now, the urgent part: as of early 2025, global garlic supplies are tightening. China, the world's largest producer, faced planting delays due to extreme weather, and shipping bottlenecks are slowing deliveries to North America and Europe. In Minnesota, Oregon, and parts of Germany, garlic powder is already vanishing from shelves within hours of restocking. Prices have climbed over 40% in some regions. Smart seniors aren't waiting. They're buying in bulk, splitting costs with neighbors, and tucking jars into every corner of their pantries. Because when the next polar vortex hits and the roads freeze for days, they know this. A pinch of garlic powder won't just make dinner taste better, it might just help them stay healthy, strong, and human when it matters most. Number 2. Black pepper. Black pepper is the quiet powerhouse hiding in plain sight, and in 2025, it's proving to be one of the most underrated survival spices for seniors. Most people treat it like background noise, something you shake on eggs or soup without a second thought. But here's the truth. Without black pepper, your body might not be getting the full benefit of the nutrients in your emergency food. That's because of piperine, a natural compound in black pepper that boosts nutrient absorption dramatically. Studies show it can increase the bioavailability of key vitamins and antioxidants by up to 2,000%. That means the turmeric in your golden milk, nearly useless without pepper. The selenium in your beans, less effective. In a crisis where every calorie and micronutrient counts, skipping pepper is like eating with one hand tied behind your back. For seniors over 55, whose digestion naturally slows with age, this boost is even more critical. Better absorption means more energy, stronger immunity, and faster recovery from stress or illness. And black pepper itself has mild anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, adding another layer of protection when fresh food is scarce. Then there's the flavor factor. Let's be real, emergency meals can taste like cardboard. A few grinds of fresh black pepper wake them up instantly. That sharp, warm bite makes canned stew feel intentional, not desperate. For seniors eating alone during days-long outages, that small touch of normalcy can lift spirits more than you'd imagine. Storage tip: buy whole peppercorns not pre-ground. They last 4+ years, sometimes longer, when kept in a sealed glass jar away from light and heat. Grind only what you need with a small pepper mill. This preserves potency and flavor far better than powder that's been sitting on a shelf for months. And right now, in early 2025, there's growing concern. Vietnam and India, top global pepper producers, are reporting crop stress due to erratic rainfall and export restrictions. Prices have already risen 30% in the US and EU, and some retailers are quietly limiting sales. Don't wait. Grab a jar of whole peppercorns today, because in the weird winter of 2025, black pepper isn't just seasoning, it's the key that unlocks everything else in your survival pantry. Skip it and you're leaving health, flavor, and resilience on the table. Number 1. Salt isn't just the oldest spice, it's the ultimate survival tool. And in the weird winter of 2025, it's more critical than ever for seniors preparing for extended emergencies. Forget fancy gadgets or expensive gear. If you have salt, you have a lifeline. First, there's health. Iodized salt prevents iodine deficiency, which can cause thyroid problems, especially dangerous for adults over 55 during high-stress situations. Sea salt, meanwhile, contains trace minerals like magnesium and potassium that support nerve function and hydration, both vital when clean water or electrolytes are hard to come by. But salt's real power lies in preservation. With potential meat shortages and unreliable refrigeration during prolonged blackouts, salt is your best defense against spoilage. It's been used for centuries to cure fish, poultry, and even vegetables, and it still works today. A simple salt brine can extend the life of perishables by weeks. Salt also purifies. While it doesn't replace proper water filters, a saltwater solution can help clean wounds or sanitize surfaces when medical supplies run low. And in icy conditions, coarse salt melts dangerous ice on walkways, reducing fall risks for seniors, the leading cause of injury during winter storms. Then there's morale. A pinch of salt transforms flat, starchy emergency meals into something edible, sometimes even satisfying. When you're eating rice and beans for the 10th day in a row, that subtle savoriness isn't trivial. It's the difference between eating enough to function and barely eating at all. Storage: salt never expires. Keep it in a dry, airtight container, glass, or food-grade plastic, and it lasts indefinitely. Many preppers store multiple forms: fine iodized for daily use, coarse sea salt for cooking and preservation, and even canning salt for long-term water brines. Here's the 2025 reality check. While salt seems abundant, regional shortages have already popped up in parts of the Northeast US and Eastern Canada due to supply chain delays and panic buying. FEMA's updated 2025 emergency food guidelines list salt as a Tier 1 essential, right alongside water and calories. So don't overlook it. Don't assume you'll just buy more. Stockpile at least a few pounds. Because when the grid fails, the roads freeze, and the world goes quiet. Salt won't just season your food, it'll help you survive it. Let's be clear, the weird winter of 2025 isn't coming, it's already here. Record-breaking cold, grocery shortages, and power grid instability aren't conspiracy theories. They're daily realities for millions of seniors across the US, Canada, and Europe. And in this new normal, your spice rack isn't just about flavor, it's your first line of defense. These 13 survival spices, from humble bay leaves to life-saving salt, do more than make meals bearable. They protect your health, boost your immunity, preserve your food, and even restore your sense of dignity when everything else feels out of control. Seniors who've lived through past crises know this truth. Preparation isn't fear, it's respect for your future self. And right now, shelves are thinning, prices are rising. Spices like cayenne, turmeric, and black pepper are vanishing from stores in Michigan, Ontario, and beyond. If you wait until the next storm hits, it'll be too late. So here's what I need you to do right now. Smash that like button. It tells YouTube this life-saving info matters. Comment Spice Ready below, and I'll send you my free 2025 Senior Survival Pantry checklist with exact storage tips, shelf life hacks, and where to buy in bulk. Subscribe and hit the bell because next week we're exposing the 7 healthy emergency foods that actually expire in 6 months. You're probably storing one right now. Tag a parent, grandparent, or neighbor over 55. Share this with your community group, church, or local senior center because in 2025, the real survival skill isn't hoarding, it's helping each other prepare, stay warm, stay fed, stay ready. I'll see you in the next one.